Echoes of control, aftermath. Days turned into weeks. Weeks into months. The city changed, as cities do. Neon lights flickered out, replaced by newer, brighter ones. Buildings rose and fell, the skyline shifting like a restless sleeper. But I remained constant, unchanging. A ghost haunting the same streets, the same shadows. I'd lost Mia. Lost the battle. Lost the war. Silas had won, and I'd been left to pick up the pieces, to bear the weight of failure. But I couldn't move on. Couldn't let go. Because I didn't know the truth. Not all of it. And until I did, I couldn't rest. Couldn't find peace. I dug deeper than I ever had before. Into Titan Corp, into the Null Collective, into the shadows of the city itself. I uncovered secrets, dark and twisted. I found allies in unexpected places, enemies where I least expected them. And slowly, painstakingly, I began to piece together the truth. Silas had been telling the truth about Mia. She was his creation, his pawn. But she was more than that. She was a victim, a casualty of his ambition, his madness. He'd taken her, molded her, turned her into a weapon. But he'd underestimated her. Underestimated the strength within her, the spark that refused to be extinguished. She'd been fighting him all this time. Fighting the programming, the conditioning. She'd been trying to warn me, to protect me. But she'd been a prisoner, a puppet on a string. And now, she was gone. Taken by Silas, hidden away, lost to the shadows. But I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't let her go. Not again. Not ever. I tracked Silas down, followed his trail across the city, across the continent. I found his hideouts, his safe houses, his bolt holes. I dismantled his operations, one by one. I turned his allies against him, his enemies into my friends. I became a ghost, a whisper on the wind, a shadow he couldn't outrun. And finally, after months of hunting, of searching, I found her. Locked away in a facility hidden deep in the wilderness, guarded by men and machines alike. But I wouldn't be stopped. Not when I was so close. Not when Mia was within my reach. I infiltrated the facility, moving like a phantom through the corridors, leaving a trail of unconscious bodies in my wake. I found Mia's room, her cell, and I saw her. Sitting on the edge of the bed, her head in her hands, her body shaking with silent sobs.
I approached her cautiously, afraid that she might lash out, that she might not recognize me. But when she looked up, her eyes widened with relief, with hope. "Finn," she whispered, her voice raw with emotion. "You came for me."
I knelt down in front of her, taking her hands in mine. I promised I wouldn't leave you, Mia. I promised I'd protect you.
She shook her head, tears streaming down her cheeks. "You can't protect me, Finn. Not from this. He's in my head. He controls me. I can't fight him forever."
I squeezed her hands, my gaze steady, my voice filled with conviction. You can. And you will. Because you're stronger than him, Mia. You're stronger than anything he's done to you.
She looked at me, her eyes searching, desperate. Do you still trust me, Finn? After everything? After what I am?"
I didn't hesitate. I didn't doubt. I knew the truth, and the truth was her. Yes, Mia. I trust you. I trust the woman who fought against impossible odds, who never gave up, who never stopped trying to do the right thing. I trust you.
She closed her eyes, a shudder running through her body. When she opened them again, there was a new light there, a fire, a determination. "Thank you, Finn. Thank you for not giving up on me."
I stood up, pulling her with me. We have to go, Mia. We have to get out of here.
She nodded, her jaw set, her eyes filled with resolve. "But first we have to stop Silas, once and for all."
I smiled at her, a cold, hard smile. Together?
She returned the smile, her eyes glinting with the promise of retribution. "Together."
As we made our way through the facility, I knew that this was it. The final showdown. The end of the road. But I also knew that, no matter what happened, no matter how it ended, I would stand with Mia. I would fight for her. I would trust her. Because she was worth fighting for. Worth trusting. Worth saving. And so, hand in hand, we walked into the heart of darkness, ready to face the monster within. Ready to end this, once and for all. But as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And the monster we sought to slay had one final trick up his sleeve. And as the facility exploded around us, as the world turned to fire and ash, I knew that we'd been checkmated. That we'd lost. That this was the end. But even in the end, even in the face of defeat, I didn't regret my choices. I didn't regret standing with Mia, fighting for her, trusting her. Because sometimes, the fight is all that matters. Sometimes, the trust is all that remains. And sometimes, in the ashes of defeat, you find the embers of hope, burning bright and fierce against the encroaching darkness. And so, our story ends, not with a bang, but with a whisper. A promise. A vow. To fight, to trust, to hope. Against all odds, against all enemies, against the very end itself. And so, we stand. Defiant. Unbowed. Unbroken. Together. Until the very end. Until the darkness claims us all.